I move that the question be now put.
I think I haven't heard from Chris Farfoy.
Excellent.
I think I look forward to an enlightened
Taloha ni,
speech.
Mr Chair. Taloha ni, malo to the Honourable Hekia Parata, who requested that I speak a bit of Tokelauan before I address Clause 5 of the Hamilton City Council Parana Park Land Vesting Bill, and I would speak entirely if we did have a Tokelauan translator in the House. Well, at least I'll give it a good go, but unfortunately you're going to have to listen to me in English. Clause 5 is Clause 5 of 10 in this bill. So we are halfway. We are only just halfway into looking into great detail into some of the very important implications of this Hamilton City Council Parana Park Land Vesting Bill. There are 3 sub-clauses in this part of the bill, and I want to address first, especially for Mr Tauhinare, that sub-clause 1 states that the land is no longer subject to the trusts of the last will and testament of George Parr, and that basically takes away the influence of the gifter of the land, George Parr, who gave the land to the Hamilton City Council in 1929. And as we've talked about Mr Parr many times tonight, that he was a visionary man, a man that cared about the future of how children were looked after, especially in Hamilton. And his intention was that the land was to be used as a playground for children, and for over 80 years that's what it's been used as. And many generations of Hamiltonians, and I'm sure David Bennett has enjoyed Parana Park himself with his children and perhaps with his parents. And it's because of the vision of George Parr that many generations of Hamiltonians and visitors to Hamilton can enjoy Parana Park. Of course, you also know that the house left by George Parr, who passed away at 60 years of age, a few years a few years too early. The house was supposed to be used as a convalescent home for children, but over the years that it hasn't been able to use as that. So the Hamilton City Council, for some time, and thanks to the local member who was sponsoring this bill, has allowed the Honourable... sorry, he's sitting in the minister's chair. David Bennett, I'll take that away. This bill allows the Hamilton City Council to use the land in the spirit of which the council and the people of Hamilton want to now, and not necessarily specifically for the purposes of George Parr. And Sue Moroney spoke before that during the investigation of this bill, and the Hamilton City Council has exhaustively tried to find the descendants of Mr Parr, and I believe that hasn't been able to be possible. So this sub-clause 1 allows us to move on and for the City Council to take complete ownership and complete control for its own purposes of Parana Park. Sub-clause 2 is basically very simple. The land is no longer subject to the provisions of the Hamilton City Parana Park Empowering Act 1958, which my colleague Ian Lees-Galloway, 1958, Ian Lees-Galloway has already referred to much earlier on. So I won't touch much on that, but I will touch on sub-clause 3, which states that the fee simple estate and the land is vested into the council, and that basically gives the council full ownership of this land. I do want to bring up a point that my colleague David Shearer mentioned before around the mystery around a missing acre. And I do hope that the member responsible for the bill, it could be a simple mistake, but I'd hope that the member responsible for the bill would investigate that. Maybe he could call on the resources of the Hamilton City Council. It may need the services of a simple calculator, or may need quite a lot of resources to find out where this missing acre is. And I'd like to congratulate David Shearer for actually pointing this out. It's interesting that this bill has gone through this far to committee stages, and that no one has actually realised that a complete acre of land that is meant to be gifted, to the Hamilton City Council, is at this stage seems to be in no man's land as such. As we say, as I said, sub-clause 3 puts the fee simple estate of this land invested in the council. And I guess as we talk about George Parr and the fact that he was a visionary and gave up this land at his passing, and he was very interested in making sure this land stayed in public ownership. And this subclause makes sure that it does stay in public ownership as it is vested in the Hamilton City Council. I guess that's something that's a little bit foreign to the National Party at the moment, because the National Party is a party that is quite happy to sell off or mine some of our most beautiful parks and assets.
Chair, I call Joe Goodhue.
I move that the question be now put.
The question is, the question be now put. Members of that opinion will say aye. The contrary opinion will say no. The ayes have it. Party vote call for. Clerk, please conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
8 votes in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Maori Party.
E wha e tautoko ana.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
Vote in favour.
On Chris Carter.
1 vote in favour.
Hone Harawira.
Ko tahi kei te tautoko.
Members, the ayes are 77, the noes are 43. The question will be put. The question is that Clause 5 stand part. Those who support that will say aye. Aye. The contrary, no. The ayes have it. Members, the question now is that Clause 6 stand part.